Hi everyone, I just wanted to say a big hello and welcome you all to a space in which we can all talk about stuff, open up about stuff that's going on over the coming weeks and maybe months. Sorry, but my dog Banjo wanted to join in. He didn't know what I was up to and he loves looking out the window up here. So here's Banjo, and I'm going to be giving you as much help as I possibly can in any way that I can, and I know that I can help support you through this process that we're all going through, this journey of uncertainty that we're on. I also think it's an incredible positive time for growth, and it's an unprecedented opportunity for all of us to do things that matter to us. For many of us, it's been long overdue that we've looked after ourselves, put ourselves first, thought about our health for one, and not had that super fast pace of life to take precedence over emotional support for ourselves, mental hygiene, physical hygiene in terms of fitness, in terms of getting outdoors. If you're lucky enough to have a garden, if you're lucky enough to have a green space anywhere, now is the time to be enjoying it, and it is gorgeous out there. In a moment I'm going to go and take Banjo for his lunchtime stroll and squirrel chase, and I'm going to be enjoying that freedom of the outdoors. It really does bring you back to life. So over the coming days, weeks, or however long we're all going to be at home for, I'm going to be sending out little tutorials on different themes. Anything from a tiny bit of hand reflexology that you can practice on yourself. I'm going to be talking about isolation. I'm going to be talking about grief. I'm going to be talking about entertaining. I'm going to be talking about cooking from your cupboards. I'm going to be answering any questions that you've got, teaching you some basic breathing techniques that can help you with those brain soup days when all you can do is think about what you've just heard in the news. And I'm going to be sending that out via my YouTube channel, which you can all access like you've just accessed this. And going on from that, I'm also going to be offering you treatments remotely that you can book with me, and also phone calls. And Banjo's going to have a bark. Maybe he's not. Phone calls where we can discuss what's going on with you emotionally, physically, any barriers that you've had to feeling good. And just a quick note about news. So for the first time in a long time, for many of us, we're watching the news more than we normally would. And not only that, but we're watching news that is talking about an emergency. And that emergency feels very much like something that is continuous. And for us to watch something that is spiking our adrenaline, it's releasing that stress response. Every time we have that news on, we're having that reaction. We're on guard. We're holding our breath. What are they going to say? What's Boris going to say today? What's he going to announce? My first piece of advice to you is to ration how much you watch the news. For example, yesterday I didn't look at anything online for the first hour of the day. I felt pretty good. I just walked Banjo, I did some yoga, did some workout, which I always do at home in the mornings, stuck to my usual routine, and I only watched news in the afternoon. And I did feel slightly dislocated from things, not touching base with what was happening in the world. But actually at the same time, I felt almost normal. And then as soon as I started to watch the news, I felt helpless again. I felt frustrated that I wasn't working, because both my jobs are put on hold at the moment. And I felt worthless. I felt like I wasn't really adding anything. I was just submissive. Now, everything that comes from that broadcaster's voice is obviously one of drama, and no one's really smiling on TV at the moment. And all I would say about the news is that it will have an impact on your energy. It will make you feel low. And whilst it's important that we know what's going on, for those of us who aren't actually full on isolating at the moment, we need to know what's actually acceptable in terms of how we run our lives at the moment and what we can and can't do. So we can find out the news, we can limit it to say 10 minutes of watching the headlines, and then we change the channel or we switch that TV off, or maybe consider only reading about things online. Don't immerse yourself, because that TV is super powerful, as we know. That's why we're all addicted to it, and it's like a incredible energy that we can feed off when we need it. And it's great if you're watching something that's funny or enlightening, or you're learning something, or you're watching your favourite programme and you just really be looking forward to it. That's a really positive influence. But if it's something that is draining, is worrying, is spiking all your emotions and triggering all your anxieties, it's not a positive thing to bring into your house. So if you don't get a newspaper, maybe considering just getting a newspaper once every couple of days and walking to the shop to get it, rather than switching the news on. And I know it's pretty hard to avoid at the moment. So consider that, or just going to what you find is a less overwhelming voice in terms of either news channel or newspaper online. For example, I find things like the Financial Times slightly less overwhelming than the Daily Mail, for example, which we all know is super blood pressure accelerating. So be careful with your sources, ration out how much you're watching the news, and that's a really, really good, happy starting point. And I'll be bringing lots more tips over the coming weeks, and if there's anything in particular you'd like me to talk about, please either text me, email me, or just comment below if you know how to comment on YouTube, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And in the meantime, lots and lots of love and happiness and safety to all of you. I'm thinking about all of you. I really miss seeing you already. I can't believe it's only been a couple of days. My husband's going to have non-stop reflexology, Banjo's going to have lots of massage therapy, and I'm going to be doing my best to develop my skills as much as possible to help you when we come back and are reunited, and in the meantime whilst we're online. Anyway, lots of love to all. Bye.